Perek Cheskes Habatim DAF Nun, sponsored l'Refuah Shalema for Miriam Bas Rachel. Rabbi Barabhuna explains, concerning what properties sold, a wife can claim when the husband sold them, she can claim Nachas Ruach Asisi Lebali. Although all of the husband's property is lien to her ksuba, she relies more on three of them. Number one, a property designated in the ksuba. Number two, a property designated in front of witnesses, even though not written in the ksuba. Number three, property of tzon barzel, a property a wife essentially gives her husband. Its assessed value is written into the ksuba. This is what he owes her in the event of death or divorce. Any profits accrued are his. However, she relies on them more than his other property because she provided them. The Gemara questions which properties are excluded. It appears Rabbi Barabhuna mentioned these three properties to teach. Even regarding them, she can claim Nachas Ruach Asisi Lebali, that I did it to please my husband, and certainly concerning his other property. The husband cannot sell or must sell at a discounted price any property lien to the ksuba. If she did not sell her lien, the husband would suspect her anticipating a divorce. However, the three set aside, he could accept her reservation as reasonable. Despite this, Rabbi Barabhuna teaches she would be ashamed to refuse selling her lien. The Gemara rejects its reference to Nichsei Malug property based on a statement of Ameimar. Ish ve'isha shemachru b'nichsei malug lo asu v'lo klum. The Gemara interprets this in two ways. Number one, the first interpretation refers to two different circumstances. The husband sells the property illegally. He has only rights to the produce. Therefore, when he dies, the property and produce revert to the wife. The husband's sale was of no consequence. Similarly, if the wife sold title to the property, died, it reverts to her husband. Although he has no claim to property sold and no longer part of her estate, the Chachamim enacted the husband be as the first purchaser on property she sold during their marriage to promote marital harmony. In the event she predeceases him, he receives title retroactively, recovering the property from any subsequent buyer. Number two, the second interpretation compares their sale to a sale of a slave. One who sold a slave, retaining work rights for 30 days after the sale, there is a machlokas who is exempt bedin yom o yomayim, in the event he dies within 24 hours from sustaining mortal wounds. Ameimar here bases his statement on the last opinion there. Rabbi Elazar, based on the verse in the Torah that says, Lo yukam kikaspo hu, teaches that where partners share a slave, as in this case, one owns and the other works him, both are exempt. The same is true concerning the Nichsei Malug. Since the wife owns the property and the husband is entitled to the produce, neither have the right to sell. The Gemara explains another ruling of the Mishnah, V'lo ish chazaka b'nichsei ishto. A man has no chazaka in his wife's property. Her property, the Gemara explains, it refers to a husband using his wife's nichsei maluk property for digging ditches rather than consuming its produce. Although Rav Nachman states, Ein chazaka l'nezikim, damaging property cannot establish a chazaka, the Gemara interprets this in two ways. Number one, 3 years are not necessary to establish a chazaka. One would protest immediately any damage done to their property. Number two, he refers to establishing rights detrimental to others, such as smoking or smelling up another's house. 3 years do not establish a chazaka. The Gemara offers an alternative explanation for Rav's statement. The reference is to another person, not the husband, who began using the property during the husband's lifetime. After the husband's death, he used it 3 years uncontested when the wife could no longer rely on her husband to protest. He is believed that he purchased it from the husband, who purchased it from her. With amigo, he could claim he purchased it from her. If you're enjoying DAF in 5, please click on the link below, subscribe, and become a sponsor. Thank you.